Hey everybody, welcome back to the Crafting Brothers. Now you guys know me, I love cheap miniatures. And to me, cheap miniatures, they've got to be under $1 or they're not cheap. And I found this cool thing on eBay, on Amazon, from Path Miniatures. That's the brand name. And it cost about $34. I did have a $5 coupon, so it was 29 bucks for 38 miniatures, which works out to about 75 cents a piece. So I'm going to open them up and see what they're all about. They looked really cool on the website, but you never know what you're going to get. So let's check them out. Alright, hard to open. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's just pour them all out right. So, what attracted me to this miniatures was these giant ogres that you'll see in a minute. That I thought were actually pretty cool. I'm always in the need of ogres. So let's start with these guys. Let's start with these. This ogre, it looks really neat. Now, these do have a little bit of an angular look to them, and you know, kind of like an anime, kind of like if you're watching anime, you see that angular jaw structure, the angular muscles, things like that. It also, in the DC animated stuff, you also see a lot of that. But I do think it's really cool, and I do think it'd be worthy of being on the table, especially as a giant ogre. And these are all 28mm scale, by the way, so I think they're going to be really neat. That's really neat. I think what I'm going to do at the end of this is I'm going to paint a few of them up, and you can see what I do with them. I might sand some of these angular movements down, but that's the ogre. Then we have a wizard here. The wizard, this is actually really neat. The wizard has got a nice sculpt. This is almost like a wizard apprentice. You can see there, a little wizard apprentice that I think would be good for the table. So that's another one. Okay, and then we have a kind of a female wizard or a female sorcerer, which is neat. You can always bend these back. Just put them in boiling water and get them all hot and then stick them in the right place. But this looks neat. She's casting a spell. She's got a nice little sculpt. She's got a good pose. I like that. So that's going to be good. It's going to be good for the table. These, for the price, you guys, you have to consider the price because they're not the greatest sculpts in the world. But for the price, I really haven't seen any sculpts in this category of this quality. For the price, again, these are about 75 cents a piece if you have that $5 coupon. If you don't, they're probably around 90 cents a piece. But that's a neat one too. Female archer. Is she an elf? I can't see the ears. Yes, she could be an elf. So a female elf archer. Oh, she's got a tail. So that could be a something else entirely. You never know. There's another one of those. Let's see. I believe there's like 3 or 4 of each sculpt. So this is neat. This is kind of a demon with wings. You can use this as a... this might be one of the ones I paint up. You can kind of use it for any kind of flying creature, even a gargoyle. And that'll be painted up really nice. Maybe I'll paint this a couple different ways. I can paint it in a reddish tone and give it a demon hue, or maybe even paint it with just gray and give it that gargoyle type of thing. So that's a good one too. So here we have, looks like an orc. It could even be used as maybe a barbarian or something like that, or a half orc. You can see there. It's kind of a nice little sculpt. It can do some stuff with the armor. I think I'll have to get rid of some of these mold lines, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm looking at these, and again, for 75 cents a piece, I think they're right on. Here's another one. That's the same one. So let's see if we can get some different ones in here. How many different poses do we have? Here's another one. And this looks like, again, that could be a half orc, could be a barbarian. Not my favorite one of the bunch. If you have to use that for something, not my favorite one. This is probably my least favorite out of all of them, because rarely do you need characters that don't have shirts on or don't have unless it's a big brute. You can use it always as a brute monster, so we can definitely use that in some way. So here's another one that we don't have yet, and this one looks kind of like a witch. Not the best sculpt out of all these. Not as much detail, but I think you can probably get some good paint jobs out of that. Nice little pose. Yeah, I think I can paint that up. Maybe as a witch or even as a some sort of magic user that's in the middle of some sort of spell. Okay, so now we have a goblin. And I think this is kind of a neat one. I saw this on the website in a close-up. And this one actually works, I think works pretty good as a goblin. Always in need of more goblins, so maybe that one will be one of the ones I paint up. I think it's got a good sculpt, a good face. So let's see what else we got. We have, I believe there's, let's see, there's another goblin. Okay, here's a kobold. And this one, it works perfectly as a kobold as well. You can see it's not the best sculpt, not the best detail, but when it gets painted up, I think that one will work really nicely as a kobold. Kobolds and goblins are supposed to be small, so that works right in the scale of D&D. All of these are going to work nicely in the D&D. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me get them all together. They do have, like I said, they have 2 of each or 3 of each. So I've got a couple of these, couple of these. They're all kind of nice. Let me just organize them here, and I'll get a grand shot of all of them at the end, and you can see which ones are which. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the way these turned out. Oh, I did get one that's broken. Look at that. So that's not going to be... actually, here's the piece right here. So, I guess I can pop that back in. Yeah, I'll be able to pop that back in. I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. I'll be able to pop that back in. I'm glad it's on a figure that I don't really care about. So, that works for me, because I don't really care about it. So let me paint a few of these up. Let me get a grand shot of all of them. Then I'll paint a few of them up, and you can see the end result. Alright, thanks you guys. Now here they all are. I did not have time to paint any of them up, so I decided to grab a couple of the easier ones to paint, and I gave them to my brother John to see if he could paint these up. He's never painted minis before, so I'm going to leave you with a little montage of John painting miniatures. I will happily use these on my table. Thanks, John. I think they came out great. Everybody leave a comment below. Let him know how he did. And I will see you next time with another cool video.